Salutations to all, and thank you for visiting my Bold is the Beautiful channel. I hope everyone is having a great day ahead of them. To begin, kindly click the subscribe button. Kindly give this video a thumbs up in the hopes. Chapter 1. The Discovery. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting an orange hue over Los Angeles, a chilling wind swept through the deserted alleyways. In the heart of the city, where the glitz and glamour of Hollywood met the harsh reality of life, a figure lay huddled in the shadows. Sheila Carter, once a formidable force to be reckoned with, now reduced to a mere shell of her former self. It was Quinn Fuller, on her way home from a late-night meeting, who stumbled upon the scene. At first, she thought it was a discarded pile of rags, but as she drew closer, she gasped in horror. It was Sheila, her face gaunt and hollow, her once luscious locks now matted and tangled. Without a moment's hesitation, Quinn dialed 911, her heart pounding in her chest as she prayed for Sheila's survival. The ambulance arrived within minutes, its sirens piercing the silence of the night. Paramedics rushed to Sheila's side, their faces grim as they assessed the situation. "She's severely malnourished," one of them muttered, shaking his head in disbelief. "We need to get her to the hospital right away." Chapter 2. The Hospital. At the hospital, chaos ensued as doctors and nurses worked tirelessly to stabilize Sheila's condition. Word of her arrival spread like wildfire throughout the medical staff, eliciting whispers of shock and pity. In a private room, surrounded by beeping monitors and sterile white walls, Sheila lay unconscious, her life hanging in the balance. Eric Forrester, hearing the news, rushed to her side, his heart heavy with guilt and regret. "I never thought it would come to this," he whispered, his voice choked with emotion. "Sheila was once so full of life, so full of fire. How did it come to this?" Quinn, too, hovered anxiously by Sheila's bedside, her mind flooded with memories of their tumultuous past. Despite their bitter rivalry, she couldn't help but feel a pang of sympathy for the woman who lay before her, vulnerable and broken. Chapter 3. Flashbacks. As Sheila drifted in and out of consciousness, fragments of her past flashed before her eyes. She saw herself as a young girl, growing up in the mean streets of Chicago, determined to escape the cycle of poverty and violence that surrounded her. She remembered the thrill of her first taste of power as she clawed her way to the top of the corporate ladder, leaving a trail of broken hearts and shattered dreams in her wake. And she remembered Eric Forrester, the man who had once been the love of her life, the man whose betrayal had driven her to the brink of madness. But amidst the pain and the regret, Sheila also saw glimmers of hope. She saw her son, Finn, the light of her life, whose love had given her the strength to carry on in the darkest of times. And she saw herself, not as the ruthless schemer the world saw her as, but as a woman capable of redemption, of love, of forgiveness. Chapter 4. The Investigation. As news of Sheila's condition spread, the Forrester family found themselves thrust into the spotlight once again. Rumors swirled, speculations ran rampant, and fingers were pointed in every direction. Detective Alex Sanchez, tasked with unraveling the mystery surrounding Sheila's near-death experience, delved deep into her past, uncovering secrets long buried and forgotten. He interrogated former allies and enemies alike, piecing together the puzzle one clue at a time. But as the investigation progressed, it became clear that Sheila's ordeal was far from a simple case of misfortune. Dark forces were at play, unseen hands pulling the strings from the shadows, and the Forrester family found themselves caught in the crossfire of a deadly game of cat and mouse. Chapter 5. The Reckoning. As Sheila's condition slowly improved, she regained consciousness, her eyes blazing with newfound determination. She knew that she had been given a second chance at life, and she wasn't about to waste it. With the help of her son, Finn, and a newfound ally in Quinn Fuller, Sheila embarked on a quest for justice, determined to uncover the truth behind her ordeal and bring those responsible to justice. Together, they delved into the murky depths of the Los Angeles underworld, following a trail of breadcrumbs that led them to the doorstep of a powerful and ruthless adversary. But as they drew closer to the truth, danger lurked around every corner, and Sheila found herself once again facing the demons of her past. With her newfound strength and resolve, she vowed to confront her demons head-on, no matter the cost. Chapter 6: Redemption. In the end, it was not vengeance that drove Sheila forward, but redemption. As she stood face to face with the person responsible for her suffering, she felt a sense of peace wash over her, a sense of closure that she had long yearned for. With a heavy heart and tears in her eyes, Sheila made a choice. She chose to forgive, to let go of the anger and resentment that had consumed her for so long. And in that moment of forgiveness, she found the strength to embrace her true self, flaws and all. As she walked away from the shadows of her past, Sheila knew that her journey was far from over. But with the love and support of her family by her side, she was ready to face whatever the future held, knowing that she had finally found peace. And so the saga of Sheila Carter, once a force of darkness, came to a close, her legacy forever etched in the annals of soap opera history. But her story was not just one of tragedy and despair, but of redemption and hope, a reminder that even in our darkest moments, there is always a glimmer of light to guide us home.